theme.
Okay.
It's gonna go on the blooper reel.
Yeah, I wanna.
You should have had some clothes on.
I wanna try that.
All right, try it on like a dessert night. What does it taste like?
The caviar that I paid for.
He pays for it since he does pay mortgage on up in here. That's if you don't back up on the $100 caviar. What do you think, Timmy?
It's like I could taste the fish in it.
Hello guys and welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I am your homegirl Bean, and yes, I am the blissfully single one. Thank you guys for tuning in to my story time and caviar video, my biggest betrayal. Now I did this for a couple of reasons. I am reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, so please check out my reviews every Sunday morning / afternoon. And there's a lot of things on that show that's very triggering to me because I could tie it back to my experience. And so I mentioned something the time when my sister and my ex tried to gang up and get my children taken from me. And one of my subscribers said, hey girl, I would love to hear that story. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea. The second part of this video is I was watching Wendy Williams' documentary, which was really good. It was better than the movie, in my opinion, because she was just so real. It was raw. There wasn't any acting involved. And during one of the scenes where she was crying over Kevin and his infidelity, Wendy Williams was eating caviar and Doritos. And Wendy said, eating caviar and Doritos together is like a party in your damn mouth. And I thought, ooh, I want a party in my mouth. I said, that sounds good. I've never had caviar before. Well, if you count sushi, the little caviar. The caviar in sushi is a little bit different. It's a little orange egg. It's really small. I'm thinking that's the crackhead of caviar. So I went out and I purchased some real caviar. I got my Doritos. I got my rosé so that I can tell the story and munch a little bit. And here we go. Let me go ahead on and get this. And get this rosé cracked open in case I don't like the taste of caviar. I can rinse it out with this. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think I will like caviar simply because I'm a pescatarian. So the only meat that I eat is seafood, and I'm a big sushi person. I'm a big fish person. The only seafood that I do not like, and I'm not going to say the seafood is bad or I don't like it because it's not good, is crawfish. But at the time, I had crawfish at this rinky-dinky reception hall in Queens, New York. So I'm guessing they are not the mecca for crawfish. And I don't know if I knew. I don't think I was eating it well. Anyway, I love rosé and champagnes and the sparkling wines, but I hate opening the corks because I feel like sometimes I can get it open easily and other times it's a headache. So let's hope this is not a headache for me. Yes, I was able to get it open without complications. Oh, I'm so excited. Never had caviar before. But, while I prep my caviar, my biggest betrayal. And I'm going to try to get through this video without crying. But if you're one of these people I read about on the internet who are like, oh, I hate when people cry on camera, you might want to step out because this is emotionally charged for me. And if I can get through this without crying, it shows that I'm really at a better place and those emotions aren't as raw. Because this happened close to 6 years ago, but when something like that happens to you, it messes with your trust. And it's like if your family, like your blood family, blood mother, blood father, no shade to the steps and the halves and the play brothers and sisters, but there's something different about a bond between sisters who are from the same mom and same dad. Again, I don't mean to offend any nuclear families, but it is what it is. Alright, got my Doritos. Wendy better be right, because Doritos and caviar just sound so odd to me. Look at this little thing of caviar. This is like, is it an ounce or half an ounce? I think it's 1 ounce of caviar. This 1 ounce of caviar cost me $100. And this is the cheaper of the caviar. I got my caviar at Amazon simply because I didn't know which gourmet I didn't know which gourmet store to go to get the caviar. And somebody said something about Costco's. And I'm like, I'm not getting the whole membership just to get some caviar. Although I do need to revisit a membership when I move to Atlanta soon. Coming in Atlanta. All right, hopefully this thing is easy to open. Oh, this is not easy to open. I told you to move this thing. And what it smells like is, let's see. It doesn't smell like anything. I thought it would smell fishy, but it doesn't. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try to stay at 1 serving of Doritos, but I make no promises. Oh my, Miss Wendy. Look at that. I wonder what this is gonna taste like. I spend a lot of money on meals because I eat a lot of sushi and seafood. But as a single unit going into my mouth, as a single food, this is the most I've ever spent on one single food. So let me see what it tastes like. Did I not put enough on there? I didn't taste anything. I didn't taste anything. I'm going to try another one. This time put a lot more. I didn't taste anything. Or maybe the caviar is so savory, it blended right in with the savory or the cheesiness of this chip. I'll put a lot more in there because I didn't taste anything. See? And I got it piled on there. Now let me see. It's fishy, but cheesy. There's a very savory taste to it. I remember watching an episode of Frasier. I recently binged it. It was an episode where Frasier and Niles got their hands on this exclusive caviar, and everybody was going crazy. Ross turned into a caviar fiend, and I was like, that's another reason I was like, I wonder what it tastes like. But it's very savory. Very savory. Very fishy. Wendy girl, you alright? It is like a party in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. Shout out to Akinelli. Alright. I did the caviar. Now I got my libations. I'm going to add a little tink to my champagne to keep me light. So, it was 6 years ago. My biggest betrayal. And if you listen to my channel, then you know that it involves my sister and my ex, the father of my children. I had just bought my house. And the process of buying the house was so hard for me, simply because in buying my house, I got laid off of my job. So I had to scramble and get another salary job like quick, fast to keep this deal on track. And when I tell you, that was God. Because I didn't think it was going to happen. Not only did I get another job in like 3 or 4 weeks, it was higher paying than the one that I previously had. So God is good all the time. So I already went through that trauma, and my sister was there for me in a big way. She was always an ear. You know, we grew up close. When we were young, they used to call us the twins. She's only a year older than me, but we look a lot alike. At least when we were kids. As adults, we didn't really get the "are you twins" thing. So I just bought my house. I had no furniture. I had air mattresses. And, you know, my sister was helping me out. She brought me a mattress, you know, from her house. And we got into a dumb argument. And the particulars of the argument, it's stupid. She was being jealous over my cousins. Like, I spent too much time with them, or I used too much of my resources for them, or try to be there for them in a way that I'm not there for me and my kids. So she's emailing me all this hot shit. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Call her. We get into it. We go back and forth. We have arguments. and we had an argument, and I was like, take back your shitty ass mattress, your shitty pissy ass mattress, bitch. So I went downstairs, I threw that damn mattress in the middle of the lawn and came upstairs. I was only a week into living in my house before all this damn calamity went down. So, I'm sorry, just hood. this is the all-white neighborhood for me to bring this messiness in. I was ashamed of myself. In hindsight, I should have kept that mattress that she offered me and just ignored her ass. Because when you hear how she got back at me next, holy crap. So we have that argument, and I go about my life. You know, my sister and I'm in my 40s. We've had many arguments, chilled on talking to each other for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months was needed. But then we got back good. So I'm thinking this is the same situation. We are going to get back good. Then, ladies and gentlemen, I come home from work. And at the time, my job was in Brooklyn. I live on Long Island. It took me an hour and a half to get home from work. So by the time I get back to work, all I want to do is drink some wine and chill, which is exactly what I did. I came back home. My kids were actually with her at the time. Was it with her or their dad? With their dad. They were with their dad at the time. So I come home, a long day at work. So I go in the kitchen. I'm making myself a really nice glass of wine, and I hear a knock on my door. I'm like, somebody's knocking on my door like they're the police, number one. Number two, I ain't been here but a week. Who the hell is knocking on my door? I go to the door, open it, and it's the sheriff. I said, bitch, why is the sheriff at my door? Thankfully, it was at night, so it wasn't embarrassing. At least, they had enough courtesy to do that. But I'm thinking, I didn't get into it with my ex. Like, who do I owe? I just bought this house, so the credit is good. I don't owe nobody except for Sally Mae, but who doesn't owe Sally Mae? You know what I mean? The sheriff hands me a set of papers. I'm being served. And I'm like, served for what? And the sheriff took his time and explained to me that my ex, my children's father, is suing for full custody of my kids. He said, listen, it's not a big deal. Here's the court papers. Just go to court and just argue your side. Or just go to family court and let them know what your side is. I thanked him. I closed the door. I was so embarrassed, but there was a niceness, a kindness about him that I really did appreciate. So I take the papers. And I open my bottle of wine because I already know I'm gonna need to be mellow before I read this paperwork. So I'm going through the paperwork. I'm seeing that it's my kid's father that's filing for full custody. Mind you, the only reason why he was filing for full custody because I've been separated with this man by this time about 2 or 3 years, but I got to a point where I recently put a motion together so that he can be court ordered to pay child support. And the only reason why I did that, because I wasn't going to do that. He wasn't working with me. And the last straw is when my oldest son needed trombone lessons. I think it was like $90 or something like that. I asked him for the money. He basically told me to go to hell. So I said, oh, okay. I should go to hell? I'm a bitch from the streets? That's what he called me, a bitch from the streets. I said, let me show you how this bitch from the streets do. And I went down to the courthouse and filed for my child support. So him filing for full custody was retribution. I filed for child support. I'm filing so that you can do right by your kids financially. And don't put that all on me because I know I didn't have these kids by myself. So his get back was filing for full custody. I'm reading through the child support papers and I'm getting angry. I'm like, you got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve. Then I get to the last page of the paperwork. The last page was a letter from my sister, Dr. Such and Such. Because when you're trying to, damage somebody or get someone to believe you, you got to put the Dr. dot in front of your name so that they can take you more seriously than a hood bitch like me. Hello, this is Dr. Blickety Blickly Blick. I am the sister of Blissful Single Bean, last name, and I am writing because I'm concerned about the welfare of her children. Sabine is prone to fits of anger and fits of rage. Sabine is an alcoholic, and I recommend that custody be taken away and given to their father. Bitch. Oh, I gotta breathe because I'm getting that. My sister's not a psychiatrist who diagnosed any damn body. And if I ever got upset with my sister, or if I ever lost my cool with my sister, I can assure you she deserved it. That's number one. Number two, yeah, I am a wino. Like, yeah, I'm a single mother of two boys doing all this shit by myself. Yes, I am a wino. However, do I get in the car with my kids drunk? Do I have a DUI? No. I don't do any of that stuff. But if I'm going to enjoy some rosé, I do it at home. If I'm going to enjoy a whole bottle of yellowtail Pinot Noir, yes, I do that shit at home. So calling me an alcoholic is a bit of a reach, okay? There are alcoholics and there are people who like the alcohol. I am the person who likes the alcohol. I am absolutely enraged. The first thing I thought was, I am going to kick her motherfucking ass. I'm feeling myself just angry, and the first thought that came to me is drive to her house and punch her dead in her face. And I find myself moving to go. She only lives 20 minutes away from me. And I had to stop and say, if you do this, if you go to her house and you punch her in her face and you take her by the back of her head, knock her face against the wall, drag her down the flight of steps, you know what? You leave yourself open. Because after that comes the cops, comes the police report, and you make a case for your ex. So I had to play it cool. But at the same time, I couldn't breathe. And my heart was tight. So I called up one of my cousins. Queen, shout out to you. And thank you for everything that you are to me in my life. And I will never, ever, ever stop loving you until I breathe my last breath. I called the queen of my life up. That's what I call her. My cousin, I call her queen. I called her up. Okay. Oh my God. And I'm talking to her and I start to hyperventilate. And she's like, Sabine, what's wrong? Like she had to stop me and slow me down because I found myself, I couldn't breathe. And I was breathing heavy at the same time, which is the weirdest thing. So she calmed me down, and then I read her that letter verbatim. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. What'd you think? Girl, if you couldn't believe it, how do you think I am? So after that started this whole custody issue, and my family got involved, tried to get us together, tried to get us talking to one another. But the thing I have resentment for my family for, and I'm always going to feel resentful of that, is that not one person kind of like really took my side. And when I say really took my side, it's like, you know, my cousins were neutral, and I guess they're supposed to be neutral, but I was looking for that one cousin to say, bitch, you are fucked up. I don't have shit to say to you. I'm riding with Sabine. Because that's some fucked up, droll-ass, bum-ass shit to do to your own sister. And to tell you the truth, the fight that we had, the argument that me and my sister had, did not necessitate you calling my ex, my baby's father, to try and get my kids taken away. Now, mind you, he hates the girl. Hates her. To this day, I'm pretty sure he hates everything that she is, every look she has, every breath she breathes, honey. You went and ganged up with him to get my kids taken away. Now, what would have happened if that dumb shit actually worked and I wasn't intelligent? Because, honey, as soon as I saw that paperwork, I hired myself a private attorney. I wasn't using public defenders like his bum ass was. I spent real money to keep my kids. What if I wasn't that savvy? My kids are all I have. At the time she was married, so God forbid if anything happened to her kids, she would have a husband to lean on. If, oh Lord, oh, I'm going to catch myself. For all you people that don't like videos with people crying in it, what if my kids really gotten taken away? Mentally, I know I would not be able to sustain that. I would drink until my freaking liver collapsed. I don't know if I'd go to a side of depression that would make me take my life. But for my sister not to understand the other dynamics at play and to come to me with such treachery, such evil, it's beyond me. Through the grace of God and my damn common sense and my willingness to put good money into an attorney, I have full physical custody of my kids. And the trap that she and him tried to set for me, and I'm not even really mad at him because he's an asshole and he'll always be an asshole. And if I was a better woman, I would have picked a better choice of mate to have kids by. But it's her. Like, family doesn't do that, particularly us. The shit that we've been through together, we've been through a lot. Broken families, the foster care system. You know, we went to college together. Like, well, she went to the med school and I was in the undergrad. Shout out to University of Buffalo. Hey. For all that we've been through together. I said, if someone who's supposed to be the closest person to me did that, that was my biggest betrayal. So I have trust issues. And I will always have trust issues. And trust me, I am blessed and highly favored. I am. I have a wonderful family. I have wonderful kids. But I'll never be 100% confident that my wonderful family or wonderful kids won't hurt me to the core like that. She took a piece of my trust and humanity. And that was my biggest betrayal. Right now, as it stands with us, we've been estranged for several years. Like, we see each other at family parties. It'll be an awkward hi. And I held on to a lot of anger for years. It's like, why isn't she sorry? Because she wasn't sorry. She was walking around here like she didn't do anything wrong, and she can't understand why I'm upset. She did try to give me some dry-ass apology that meant nothing, and that's when I drove to her house because we were having a family party and cursed her the hell out. I gave her the cursing out that she was long overdue for, but she was never sorry. And I remember my cousin Kevin telling me, he said, listen, Sabine, you can't make people be sorry. Either she's sorry or she's not. What are you going to do? Build a prison for yourself where you're constantly angry because she's not sorry? Let it go and move on. Shout out to you, Kiki. And it's when I got to that point. It's like when I heard that from him, she's not sorry. She's never going to be sorry, and you cannot make her process. You can't make her sorry. And that's when I let it go. So fast forward, I'm selling my house. I was at a family party, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I told everyone that I was selling my house and my house was about to go under contract, and everybody started crying, boo-hooing. My sister wasn't at the party or the get-together, but she texted me that morning and said, hey, I heard a rumor that you might be moving to Atlanta. And I said, yes, I am moving to Atlanta. My house is for sale, and I'm planning on moving there July 1st after the boys are done with school. And, she gave her 2 cents. Well, I don't think that's why, since we're New Yorkers for life. I said, bitch, who said that? I will be a New Yorker for life in spirit, but not where I live. And then she goes, does your baby's father? No. And it's like, girl, you waiting to get cursed out right now. What I tell my ex should be the last thing you should try and throw up in my face because of what you did. But you know what? I didn't let her take me there. I did not. And I said, well, you know what? I have full physical custody, and if he has a problem with that, he can take that up with family court. But we kind of talked back and forth. We text. It was the best communication we've had in years because we have been estranged. And she ended it off with, let me know if you need any help moving, etc. If you want to come back to New York, I'll help you out. Girl, you tried it, but no thank you. But I know that was her way of saying, let's see each other a little bit more before you go. And I text that back to her. I said, listen, life is too short to stay in the same space. If you want to catch dinner, hang out a little bit before I move over to Atlanta, then it is what it is. I have to let go of the anger because you're holding on to anger that won't do shit for you, but make you that stress you out, make you ill. It gives her power over me. Like when I see her, I tense up, I catch an attitude like I'm older. No. The biggest victory is when we're together at a family party and I'm drinking, I'm twerking, I'm bending it over and busting it wide, and like you're here, and the sorrow you tried to inject upon my life, the misery that you tried to inject upon my life, through the grace of God, was repelled, and I am happy, I am better, and I am stronger. So my biggest betrayal in life turned into my biggest victory. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel, blissfullySingleBean.com, and please open up to me. Can you let me know of a betrayal you faced, and how you were able to forgive the person who inflicted this pain on you, or if you did, and if you did forgive said person, how you were able to work through those emotions. Thank you so much, my subscribers. If you are watching, love you all. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe.